You just came for the answer to the title. The answer is no. Thank you for stopping by. If you want my breakdown, then stick around. I wish I had a fancy little title that goes in right now, black screen, and then it's like, all that stuff. But I don't have it. So let's just go straight into it. Skills and their level ups are boring. Like it just is. The skills are boring. The level ups are boring. I don't even know what they need to do to fix it. Again, my opinion, the skills are boring. And again, I don't mind that the skills are boring as a default. I mind that the skills are boring throughout the game. Right? Why do you even have a level up for a skill? It doesn't do anything for it. Think about Diablo 2. It's like you have lightning bolt. When you level up lightning bolt, you get more bolts, right? It's like, or like it jumps more, or like it costs less mana. I don't know. Like there is, take Zeal for Paladin, right? Where it's like the first level only hits twice. The up to level 4, at level 4 it hits 5 times, right? Like the skill evolves in a sense. Even though Diablo 2, yeah, it's a very old game, so it's like it didn't evolve that much. But it's like, guys, it's been 25 years, okay? Like, evolve the skills with skill points. Diablo 3 had, which really sucks to say, Diablo 3 had a better skill system than this, okay? Now I heard it's like, well, we don't want to make it too complex. We have people who are, they're like leveling up all of the base ones because they think that's like how the game should be played. Then make a failsafe. Either make it so it's like you can only get one generator and that's it. You can only use one generator. Or if you don't want to do that because it's like, oh, well, we feel like it's taking away the freedom, then give a warning that it's like, they're both generators or something. I don't know, but it's like you can make a failsafe so people don't fall for like build traps that you don't intend them to do. Something like that. I don't want to go over this like too much because it's not really the season theme. This is like my biggest problem with Diablo 4. We'll talk about like how much like I don't care about the item changes that they made because they're really boring. Okay, like they're not really adding anything. They're just like they just made it boring. But yeah, also the legendary items, in my opinion, are just not changing the builds enough. Most of the legendaries are they're really, how should I say it? I would say most of the legendaries are just there because it's better to have a legendary than not to have a legendary kind of thing. That's okay. It's a might as well, right? Critical strike with core skills increase your attack speed. This is decent. Okay, I'll give it that. Increase damage while you have a barrier. Okay. Like again, increase damage. Skills deals up to increase damage. Increase damage. Was this increase the damage? Okay, like they're so boring. They're not like, yeah, you have the ones that are like specialized. Again, increase attack speed. Like these are just really like this is fine again, but it's like all of them are so boring. They're not adding anything. They're not making anything interesting. You have the ones that's like they change an ability, but it's like majority of these are really boring. Like there's like it's increased damage and increased attack speed, right? It's like increase something happens when you this is decent, okay? Right, this is decent, okay? It changes the charge ability a bit, right? A lucky hit, which is like again just a proc of a proc, right? It's like I don't know, I don't even know what they can do, but like I find probably 90% of the legendaries I just use them because it's better than not to use them. But it's not because I'm like I really want to use them. They're just really, really boring overall. They just don't even feel legendary. They just feel like, what's the difference between putting a legendary? It's like, oh, core abilities do 20% more damage. Just have a rare item that has 20% increased damage. Boom, done. Like it's not a legendary power. I don't know how to explain it better. It just feels mundane. It feels like, well, we're just making legendary, so like we're gonna put all the good stuff that we're gonna put on gear anyways. We're just gonna put that as legendary powers, right? What else do I have here? Yeah, fill a slot. Okay. So, gear, in my opinion, is still really boring. Here's an example of current gear. This is, I believe, updated for season 4 because I don't see, as Frosty LaRue says it, damage to frozen enemies that move. Okay, always gets me. But let's be real, okay? How many of these are actually useful? Okay, this is useless. Okay, this is useless. Armor, maybe. Resistances, they're only useful because, in my opinion, resistance is probably like the most boring thing. It's like a mandatory stat to reduce elemental damage instead of like something that is like, I don't know, taking cold damage increases your cold damage or something like that. Like, I really hate resistance gameplay in ARPGs. I'm not gonna lie, because it's like, well, I have to make an item that has this specific resistance, yada yada yada. In my opinion, Last Epoch at least did it well, because there are some items where it's like, if you have excess max resistance, you do something more, like you do more damage with something, or you get more ward or something like that. At least they played with it. Just plain resistances are, in my opinion, the most boring thing. Like, plain resistances and armor are just the most boring things. Like, well, you gotta have defenses. Then make defenses do something more than just reducing damage. Okay, chance to dodge, or like it parries the enemy and stuns. I don't know. But like, just reduce damage is boring. It's like, it's a passive stat. Having some of it is fine. Having so many of them that like want, like, well, how many is that? Seven of them that are just doing essentially the same thing. Armor does the same things. These are just reduced damage for a type, right? Armor damage is reduced damage for a type. Resistance to all elements, you might as well have just like percent reduced damage. You just don't need anything more than that. Just percent reduced damage. Super boring. I don't like this. This is just an unnecessary bloat. This exists in every ARPG, and every ARPG, in my opinion, sucks more because of it. I think, in my opinion, PoE is fine because of the chaos resistance. But like, other than chaos resistance, I think all of them are shit, because chaos resistance like is coming out like at later games, so it's kind of like making you like stop for a second before you enter those like harder challenges, I guess, something like that. I don't really know that much about chaos resistance, but that's what my understanding was of it, which is like kind of fine. It's kind of like you have a specific resistance you need for a specific level of challenge, which is fine. Right, but in my opinion, most of these, cold, lightning, shadow, poison, fire, they're just like, just do damage reduction and call it a day. Impairment reduction, I think this is stupid, because like, it's becoming a mandatory thing, because you will get Omega CC'd, and it's like, Omega CC'd, like, it's an ARPG. You don't want to be frozen into a stun, into a knockback, or like whatever, and you just stuck like 5 seconds not being able. I don't think you need impairment reduction. I think you just need massive diminishing returns in the game, and enemies shouldn't be able to stun you for more than like maybe a second. Cooldown reduction is fine. Well, plain stats, again, boring but fine, I guess. And then skills to a specific item, and energy per second. So energy per second, I guess, based on the build. But it's like, pretty much half of these, pretty fucking useless, right? I don't mind thorns, because I think there are builds you can do that. Like, you have a thorns build, whatever. But life per second, pretty much every game, this is the worst stat ever. This might be good for like low levels, but it's like, as soon as you hit like level 60 plus, life per second just doesn't matter. Healing received, like, for what? For lifesteal, I think that because people are doing millions and billions of damage, one auto attack is a full HP on a lifesteal, right? So it's like, I don't know what this is for. I don't even know if there is lifesteal, honestly. I don't remember. I haven't played to higher levels of it, because like, it's been so fucking boring. Okay, so yeah, in my opinion, the items, again, is it better than what it was? Yeah, but this is still really boring. They're not. I think this is my biggest gripe with Diablo 4 as a whole. They're not adding anything. This is not a game that added anything to the genre. Okay, like we can say it like that. So anyway, so my season 4, what do you call it? Verdict is that it didn't do anything to the game. It made the game simpler but not more interesting. Okay. Let's go into Helltides. Helltides, in my opinion, have been upgraded from Hell. What do you call them? Hell Ripples to Hell Waves. Tell me in what world this looks like a Hell Tide. Okay? I am not being overwhelmed by demons. I'm killing them really goddamn slowly, by the way. I am not getting overwhelmed. They are not spawning fast enough. There is like maybe a 10 pack to up to 15 pack group, which is like nothing. And most of them die in like one shot anyways. So it's like, I really don't feel like I'm getting Hell Tide. Like there's no tide here. It's like a mini wave right now. And this is like, okay, yay, we did an event, we summoned this thing. Okay, 5 mobs spawned and an elite. Great. Okay, and then I'm gonna be running on my horse, looking for another decent pack. Look at this. Do you call this a pack? Like, what is this? 8 mobs, right? Which I am ignoring because like there's a treasure goblin. This is not a Helltide. People who are saying it's like, oh, finally Helltides, like they have mobs. This is garbage. I'm sorry, this is garbage. I understand that because the Hell Ripples that you had were even worse than this. This is not anywhere near. If I hear a Helltide, I hear monsters constantly showing up. Like there should be like almost no downtime happening to the point where like I might need to like run away somewhere to like take a small break. Okay. That's what I feel like a Helltide is. Okay, I am actually. Look at this. Look, I'm gonna be running. I'm running in circles, so whatever. I'm looking for like where. Like, yeah, we're gonna check for you. I'm gonna be looking for where to go because there's nothing happening. I don't see enemies on the map near me, so it's like I can't even tell. Right? Like there's. Why am I not being attacked right now? I'm just standing still inside of a hostile hell zone. Well, it's not a hell zone, but it's like shit should be coming down. Why am I able to just stand still and just do nothing? I don't know. I don't consider this a Helltide. I'm sorry. This is complete garbage. And I think Blizzard knows this is garbage because they made it give so much XP so people can get to like World Tier 3 and 4 as soon as possible and just start doing something else. It's like, here's a Helltide, get leveled fast and get the fuck out of here because this is garbage design. Okay, and we don't know what to do with it. That's literally what I feel about the Helltides. Okay, they're like garbage. I just never liked them, don't like them now. People who say Helltides are good now just don't understand what good is. They were just eating shit for so long that now that the shit has like maybe like a bit of like corn fiber in it, then it's like, oh, it's so much better. That's basically what I feel about Helltides. Let's talk about unique items. I think unique should drop from everyone. Like everything should have a chance to drop unique. Obviously, uniques have a certain level to them, so they can't just drop from like a level 60 mob and require level 92 or whatever, right? Having to target bosses, Ubers, that are the only ones who have a chance to drop it is extremely boring because instead of feeling like you are rewarded for your efforts, in my opinion, you feel like you're punished for bad RNG. It's like, oh, well, I'm gonna go kill Andariel. And it's like, you don't get the drop. And it's like, well, fuck, I'm gonna kill Andariel again. It's like, you don't get the drop. You're gonna kill her again. It's like, you get the drop. It's not even a nice surprise. It's like, it's a relief. Right? It's like, finally. Right? I don't think that's a good feeling. I think everything should be able to drop Ubers. Right? I think, Uber uniques. But I think Uber bosses should have a more, not even guarantee, but it's like a much higher chance to drop it. So it's like, yeah, you can farm it from Ubers, but you can just do your regular run-of-the-mill pit, whatever, and then you're like, by chance you get an Uber, you're like, holy fuck, yeah, let's go, right? And then you can just do the content that you love, and sometimes you're gonna get a nice surprise. Okay, so that's my opinion on uniques. I really think that having them drop for this, and also, by the way, where is Lilith in this? Lilith should have, like, pretty much, in my opinion, 100% guarantee for an Uber. Just saying. You did the hardest boss of the game. There's no other point in the game to play because you already killed the hardest boss in the game. You might as well just get the best item at that point because, like, you're done. Like, there's nothing else to do. You're finished, right? So it's like, you just give it to them. Like, fuck. Obviously, and like a skin or whatever, a title, I don't know, like some cosmetic maybe as well. But like, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go over. This is pretty much it for the video. I'm gonna go about like features I want to see for Diablo 4. I'm not gonna go into too much depth. I think the title, like the feature itself, would explain itself enough. So yeah, so this is like quick fire features I would like to see. Okay, filters, obviously. Loadouts, basically Diablo 3 armory. Mount abilities for open world. So make it more than just like clicking your one button makes you jump off the horse and shoot arrows or whatever. Like actually have like maybe some abilities to the mount, you know, kind of make it interesting in the open world. Change spender and regeneration ratio, makes the game too boring. Early game is impossible to generate enough. Late game spenders are practically free. So like it doesn't feel good. That's like you start from like extremely slow. You know, I'm not gonna go into it. Take from it what you like. I don't like the spender regeneration the way it works. Take it as you will. Okay, I'm not gonna go into too much detail. This video is already long enough. Paragon rework, too many boring passives, better than Diablo 3, but boring nonetheless. Weapon or ability swapping, think about W from Diablo 2. I think Path of Exile has weapon swapping as well. Basically, swap weapons and swaps your ability bar. Smart aiming from bosses, instead of all missiles just are guided and they make you run in circles instead of just like the boss actually aiming towards where you're going. So smarter AI on the bosses. Minigame encounters. Platform memory game from Maiden in PoE, for example. Maybe a hide and seek boss. Take it as you will. Uber items that change your ultimate ability or dash ability to an Uber boss ability. So, for example, let's take Andariel's Visage, right? So instead of like up to a 20% chance to trigger a Poison Nova that applies 0 poison damage, maybe it changes your ultimate ability. If you have it on your bar, it changes it to something that the boss does, right? So it's like a Poison Nova that the boss would have done, right? It will have its own cooldown. It just changes what your ultimate will do, and you will not be able to use your ultimate when you have this item on, right? Maybe some items like that, and then it's like, if you don't want that, then don't equip this item. You know, shit like that. Or instead, you also can just change your dodge ability to, so like your mini dodge ability, like the numpad 4 I have it, but like I don't know what people have it as, spacebar, V, I don't know, but like every character has like that little like dash thing that they do, the dodge thing that they do. Change that into the specific characters dashing ability. So for example, Sorks will get teleport for it, Rogue will get their dash, Barbarians will get a charge, I guess, and Druid will get a leap, right? Because the dodge itself is like, it barely does anything, right? It's like I almost like regret clicking it sometimes, or it's like I feel like I'm going faster, but actually not really. It doesn't really do anything for me. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. That is it for this video. Tell me your thoughts, comments below. Tell me if I'm an idiot, if I'm expecting way too much from Diablo 4, if my suggestions are like making the game way too complex or some shit. But in my opinion, I couldn't even make it past level 20. I just literally, like, I played, I think, for like less than an hour, and I got to 20, and I was like, I'm just done. Like, I just didn't want to play anymore. This was like on release day. I played, got to 20, I logged off. This is like, it's been what, 2 or 3 days since. I didn't even want to log back in. I didn't even want to log back in for the sake of the video, to go into the talent tree. Like, that's how much I didn't want to log in, okay? I don't know, maybe just, Diablo 4 is just not for me, and that's that, and it's like just wasted my $13 on this game, and hopefully the expansion will fix some stuff. I don't know, but yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.